So a lot of people I know, they only do lookalikes inside of the CBOs. And it's kind of like only lookalikes, and then they have another CBO for interest. And for me, it doesn't make any sense because Facebook doesn't know the difference. You know, Facebook just optimizes what most likely to convert, and Facebook optimizes for what's most likely to work. And so even if you combine those two things, even if you combine interest, no targeting, lookalikes inside of one CBO, there is no problem with that at all, as long as your product resonates with the marketplace and people want to buy your product. Hey guys, in this video I want to show you the $130,000 CBO strategy that we've utilized here in one of the ad accounts, and basically how it's structured, kind of like how it laid out, so you can take it and replicate it for yourself and for your own ads. So you can see here pretty much on average this campaign has delivered the average like ROI of 4.3. You can see the frequency is quite high, so this is called acquisition. So this is not like retargeting, and this campaign has been running for the last almost like 3 months, almost 3 full months, and generated $130,000 in sales with $30,000 in ad spend. And so what I want to show you here is that basically a few lessons that you can implement for your own campaigns. And one of the lessons here, guys, is that this month this campaign had the ROAS of like 255, so it's good, it's still profitable. So break-even ROAS here is approximately 1.65, like 1.7. So we've been profitable. But overall, like if you take a look, for example, like last month, this campaign had the ROAS of only 144, so slightly below break-even point. So the lesson here is that it's not necessarily campaigns like CBO especially, they can fluctuate in performance. So for us, typically we would kill the campaigns, right? And we would then, you know, if they had like good historical data, we would reactivate them. So for example, last month you can see it was like 144, but then this month it's kind of like recovered, you know, even with the whole like virus thing. So just this month, this campaign has generated $32,000 in sales with good ROAS. So the lesson is that if you have something that works, right? Because in January, this campaign has performed extremely well. So in January, this campaign had ROAS of like 6. Basically, if you have something that converts well, then you have to basically adjust pretty much. Even if it dies, then you can reactivate it, and it still will continue in performance oftentimes because it already has the data, right? So for example, this campaign by the end of January, it had like $96,000 worth of the data, quite low frequency, so it could have we could have spent more on that. But overall, like you can see how it's kind of like performed. So this month was like 6, then it kind of like died, and then we reactivated it to the end of February. So and March was quite good months for this campaign. So you can see that's basically the structure here. Now, in terms of the structure overall with this particular campaign, so you can see it only has 3 ad sets in it. This one is lookalike, this one has broad targeting, and this one also has broad targeting with just like one generic interest. Overall, you can see like 2 of them have performed like almost identical. For some reason, like this month, one of them was not performing well, so we killed it. Overall, like the structure you can see here, it's quite simple. That's something that you can test for yourself. Having only 3 assets inside of the CBO, you can have like quite, you know, high budget on that. So for example, the budget here is like $300. I mean, it's not extremely high. It kind of like allows you to spend decent amount within like just one campaign. And for me, I found like sweet spot is like 300 to 500. Typically, the sweet spot is around there for most of my accounts. If you use, you know, higher than that, then depending on the product, if product is like wide appeal, then it might perform well even with higher budget. If, you know, your product is not wide appeal, then probably it will be just overspending and your CPA will go up. Again, very simple structure. So one is the lookalike. So this one is basically 5% lookalike from purchases, and it's combination 1 to 5%, so kind of like all in one ad set. Then one of them is basically very broad targeting, and another one is just the age range and one wide interest that proven to perform well. So a lot of people I know, they only do lookalikes inside of the CBOs, and it's kind of like only lookalikes, and then they have another CBO for interest. And for me, it doesn't make any sense because Facebook doesn't know the difference. Facebook just optimizes what most likely to convert, and Facebook optimizes for what's most likely to work. And so even if you combine those two things, even if you combine interest, no targeting, lookalikes inside of one CBO, there is no problem with that at all, as long as your product resonates with the marketplace and people want to buy your product. Now, in terms of the creative strategy here, is that you can see how many different ads these ad sets have. That's where I see like a lot of the entrepreneurs, they miss this because they focus on all of these bidding and targeting, and the most important in most cases is the creative. Here you can see a lot of the creatives have been tested. This is video, this is slideshow, so a lot of different combinations. Again, there is no kind of rule that you only have to test images in one ad set, or you only have to test let's say certain creative type in one ad set. It's kind of like you just give Facebook the biggest flexibility you can on the whole like optimization thing, and then you just let Facebook do what it does best, which is like optimizing and kind of like putting your ads in front of right people. Now overall, if we'll take the historical data on this, you can see some of the ads have performed like extremely well. They even like haven't like reached some ridiculous frequency, but you can see even having all of these variations, some of them overspent, that's for sure. They've been like shut down, but it gave Facebook enough room and enough data to optimize properly actually, because if you just only give it like one ads, one creative, and that's what I see like a lot of people do, or they have like 2 or 3 creatives and that's it. If that creative doesn't work, then product like died, and we just get them a lot out of each product because it has so many different variations of the creative. And even if that creative doesn't work, then it basically shows us, what doesn't work, and we use that information to optimize further and to structure the advertising. Now this store is a niche store. The niche is like health and wellness, so it has multiple products, but the focus is pretty much on 2 or 3 products at any given point. Those are best sellers, and I've been selling for the last like 2 years. They just go back and forward, so that's pretty much the structure here. In terms of the creative, so creative is sourced from the influencers, and creative is sourced from the companies that produce the content, and some of that is just done internally with our team. So that's basically how it's structured in terms of the creative. One of the things here that you can just evaluate and take it for yourself, open targeting has performed slightly worse. I mean, it doesn't mean it's been like worse, but I mean, just in this particular situation. You also can see that the click-through rates and also cost per click kind of like on a higher side, and unique click-through rate is not where ideally it has to be, but because of the decent conversion rate, so you can identify the conversion rate here by dividing like number of purchases by number of, so you can see 1,300 sales out of like 1,300 clicks. Right, so the conversion rate is like 10%, and so that just shows you like what's possible in terms of the conversion rates, because the products like perceived value and the prices are kind of like the product looks that it's much more expensive than it's sold for, so that's why there's like this huge conversion rate. And this is store, every product has a landing page for it, so pretty much people land on a specific landing page that kind of like pre-sells the product in a bigger like detail, so it gives more details about the product, and then only after that people go and I can actually like add product to the cart, and then there's no cart, just go straight to the initiate checkout. But that's how it's structured. There are a few upsells after that, so that's why the average order value is also helps with average order value. But you can see that even the front end conversion rate is quite high, it's 10%. This is it, guys. This is basically how it's structured. This is the CBO campaign that delivered over $130,000 in sales. This is the structure for it. This is the content strategy for it, so you can just go and replicate it for yourself. I cannot guarantee that it will work for you, but you can see here the data shows that it worked for us and worked in many different campaigns. We tried to replicate the same strategy, kind of like combining the interests and lookalikes and brought targeting into one campaign, and then just give it like good flexibility, good budget to optimize with many creatives on the ad side. So kind of like structuring that, so we give Facebook enough flexibility and room to optimize and find us buyers. So this is it, guys. If you're looking for help scaling your e-commerce business, Facebook ads was our funnel strategies, using our templates for funnels, frameworks that work for us, spending like millions of dollars per month on advertising, then I want to invite you for a free strategy call. This is only for intermediate advanced drop shippers who have the experience, who have the funds to scale their business, who want to take it to the next level with a proven system. To take advantage of that, there is a link in the description, or it should be on the screen somewhere as well. Just click on it, apply for a free strategy session, and I will help you to scale your business. If you like this video, please like it, subscribe to my channel. Make sure to leave me some comments below if you have specific questions about this strategy.